The stage is a place for glory, applause, and unforgettable moments, but sometimes it becomes the scene of tragedy. From singers collapsing mid-song to magicians whose tricks turned fatal, these shocking moments stunned audiences forever. Stay with us, because these final acts are unlike anything you've ever seen. Number 12. Tommy Cooper, the magician's final trick. British comedian and magician Tommy Cooper performed his last trick on April 15, 1984, in front of millions of television viewers who thought his death was part of the act. The beloved entertainer was known for his deliberately clumsy magic tricks and infectious laugh that had made him a household name across the UK. During a live broadcast from Her Majesty's Theatre in London, Cooper was midway through his routine when he suddenly grasped his chest and collapsed backward onto the stage. The studio audience erupted in laughter and applause, assuming this was another one of his famous comedic mishaps. Even the camera operators kept filming, thinking Cooper was setting up an elaborate joke. Behind the curtain, however, fellow performers and crew members quickly realized something was terribly wrong. As Cooper remained motionless on the stage floor, the show's presenter tried to maintain the illusion that everything was under control, while medical help was summoned. Cooper was rushed to Westminster Hospital, but doctors couldn't save him. He had suffered a massive heart attack and was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. His death created one of television's most haunting moments. Millions of viewers had literally watched a man die while laughing, thinking it was entertainment. Cooper's final performance became a tragic reminder of how thin the line between comedy and tragedy really is. Number 11. Silver King, the Luchador's last match. Mexican wrestling legend Silver King stepped into the ring for what would be his final match on May 11, 2019 at the Roundhouse in Camden, London. Cesar Cuauhtemoc Gonzalez Barron had been thrilling audiences for decades with his charismatic persona and incredible athleticism. That night, he was performing as part of a lucha libre show when his 51-year-old heart decided it had taken enough punishment. During the early moments of his match, Silver King suddenly collapsed in the ring. The crowd and his fellow wrestlers initially assumed it was part of the choreographed entertainment. After all, dramatic falls and fake injuries are standard in professional wrestling. But when Silver King remained motionless on the canvas, the atmosphere shifted from excitement to concern. Medical personnel rushed into the ring and began CPR immediately, but their efforts couldn't save him. He was pronounced dead at the scene from a heart attack. Silver King's death shocked the international wrestling community, where he was remembered not just for his in-ring abilities, but for bringing Mexican lucha libre culture to audiences worldwide. His colorful mask and larger-than-life personality had made him a beloved figure who proved that entertainment and athleticism could create pure magic when combined with passion. I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go! Number 10. Pedro Henrique, Brazil's guitar hero's heartbreaking finale. Brazilian music suffered a devastating loss on March 12, 2023, when acclaimed guitarist Pedro Henrique collapsed during a live performance at a music festival in São Paulo. The 39-year-old musician had been electrifying the crowd with his exceptional guitar skills and dynamic stage presence when he suddenly clutched his chest and fell to the ground. Henrique had built a reputation as one of Brazil's most talented guitarists, known for his soulful interpretations and ability to blend traditional Brazilian music with modern rock influences. His performances were legendary for their emotional intensity and technical brilliance, often leaving audiences mesmerized by his passionate playing style. On that tragic night, he was in the middle of a particularly energetic song when his heart simply gave out. The massive crowd fell silent as they realized something was seriously wrong. Emergency medical personnel rushed to the stage and immediately began CPR, while Henrique's band members looked on in horror. He was quickly transported to Hospital das Clínicas, but despite the best efforts of the medical team, he was pronounced dead upon arrival. The cause of death was later confirmed as a massive heart attack, shocking his fans who had never known him to have any health problems. His sudden death left an irreplaceable void in Brazilian music. Number 9. Krishna Kumar Kunath, India's beloved voice falls silent. Indian music lost one of its most versatile voices on May 31, 2022, when playback singer Krishna Kumar Kunath, universally known as KK, died after performing at Nazrul Mancha Auditorium in Calcutta. The 54-year-old singer had just finished an electrifying performance, singing some of his most popular hits to a crowd of enthusiastic fans who had grown up listening to his melodious voice in countless Bollywood films. KK was known for his incredible range and ability to sing in multiple Indian languages, making him one of the most sought-after playback singers in the industry. His voice had provided the soundtrack to countless love stories and emotional moments in Indian cinema over his 25-year career. After his performance that evening, he returned to his hotel room at the Grand Hotel, where he complained of feeling unwell. Despite immediate medical attention, he suffered a cardiac arrest and was rushed to CMRI Hospital, where he was declared dead on arrival. The news of his death spread rapidly across India, with fans, fellow musicians, and Bollywood celebrities expressing their shock and grief on social media. His sudden passing reminded everyone that even the most vibrant performers can be taken away without warning, leaving behind a legacy of beautiful music that will continue to touch hearts for generations. Number 8. Owen Hart. Wrestling fans witnessed pure horror on May 23, 1999, during WWE's Over the Edge pay-per-view event. Owen Hart, performing as his Blue Blazer character, was supposed to descend from the rafters of Kansas City's Kemper Arena in a spectacular entrance. The 34-year-old professional wrestler had done similar stunts before, but this time everything went wrong. A malfunction in his harness system caused Hart to plummet 78 feet directly into the ring. The live audience watched in stunned silence as medical personnel rushed to help him. Television viewers were spared the horrific scene as cameras cut away immediately. Hart was rushed to Truman Medical Center, but the internal injuries from the fall were too severe. He was pronounced dead that same night, leaving behind a wife and 2 young children. This tragedy forever changed WWE's approach to dangerous stunts, leading to stricter safety protocols that remain in place today. Hart's death shocked the wrestling world and reminded everyone that entertainment can turn deadly in seconds. Number 7. Tiny Tim. The eccentric entertainer with the unforgettable falsetto voice gave his last performance exactly as he had lived, unexpectedly and memorably. On November 30, 1996, Herbert Buckingham Cowrie, known worldwide as Tiny Tim, was performing at a benefit concert in Minneapolis when his 64-year-old heart simply gave out. He had just finished singing his signature song, Tiptoe Through the Tulips, when he clutched his chest and collapsed on stage. The audience initially thought it might be part of his quirky act, since Tiny Tim was famous for his unpredictable performances and theatrical gestures. However, the situation quickly became serious as he remained motionless on the floor. Emergency responders arrived within minutes and transported him to Hennepin County Medical Center, but he was declared dead shortly after arrival. His death marked the end of one of entertainment's most unique careers, spanning from his breakthrough appearance on The Tonight Show in the 1960s to his final bow in Minneapolis. Fans remembered him not just for his unusual voice and ukulele playing, but for his genuine love of vintage music and his ability to make people smile. Number 6. Colonel Bruce Hampton. Music City said goodbye to one of its most beloved figures on May 1, 2017, when Colonel Bruce Hampton collapsed during his own 70th birthday celebration at Atlanta's Fox Theater. The veteran musician, known for his improvisational genius and eccentric stage presence, was performing with several guest musicians when he suddenly fell to the floor mid-song. Hampton was famous for his unpredictable performances that often included theatrical elements and comedic timing, so initially both the audience and his fellow musicians thought his collapse was part of the show. The crowd even laughed and applauded, expecting him to pop back up with one of his trademark grins. However, as seconds turned into minutes and Hampton remained motionless, the reality of the situation became clear. Medical personnel rushed onto the stage, while his musician friends gathered around in shock. He was quickly transported to a nearby hospital, but doctors were unable to save him. He was pronounced dead that same night, having literally given his final performance on his milestone birthday. His death devastated Atlanta's music community, where he had mentored countless musicians and helped establish the city's reputation as a hub for improvisational music. Number 5. Karl Wallenda. The patriarch of America's most famous circus family took his last steps 123 feet above the streets of San Juan, Puerto Rico, on March 22, 1978. Karl Wallenda, 73, was attempting to walk between the two towers of the Condado Plaza Hotel when powerful wind gusts made the wire unstable. The legendary tightrope walker had been performing death-defying acts for over 5 decades, having survived the tragic 1962 accident that killed 2 family members and paralyzed another. Despite his advanced age, Wallenda refused to retire, saying he felt more alive on the wire than anywhere else. On that fateful day, television cameras captured every moment as he slowly made his way across the 750-foot cable. About halfway across, a sudden gust of wind caused him to crouch down on the wire, trying to regain his balance. For several agonizing seconds, he fought to steady himself, but another gust proved too powerful. He lost his grip and fell to his death, landing on the roof of a taxicab below. The footage became one of the most haunting moments in live television history, showing the final seconds of a man who had dedicated his entire life to conquering fear and gravity. Number 4. Barbara Weldens. French music lost a promising voice on July 19, 2017, when 35-year-old Barbara Weldens was electrocuted during a live performance at the Leo Ferre Festival in Gordon. The singer-songwriter had recently released her debut album and was building a devoted following with her emotional performances and captivating voice. During her set that evening, she was performing barefoot on stage, a common practice for many artists seeking a more intimate connection with their audience. However, the stage setup included faulty electrical equipment that had not been properly grounded or inspected. When Weldens stepped on a defective piece of equipment, she received a massive electrical shock that stopped her heart instantly. She collapsed in front of hundreds of horrified fans who initially thought she had simply fainted from the heat or excitement. Festival organizers immediately called for medical assistance, but paramedics were unable to revive her. She was pronounced dead at the scene, her promising career cut tragically short. The incident led to investigations into festival safety protocols and stricter regulations for electrical equipment at outdoor music events throughout France. Number 3. Steve Irwin. Australia's beloved crocodile hunter met his match not with a crocodile, but with a creature he least expected on September 4, 2006. Steve Irwin was filming Ocean's Deadliest at Bat Reef, part of the Great Barrier Reef, when he encountered a massive stingray. The 44-year-old wildlife expert had swum close to the 8-foot-wide ray, hoping to get spectacular footage for his documentary. Stingrays typically flee from humans, but this one felt cornered in the shallow water. In a defensive reaction, the ray whipped its tail upward, driving its venomous barb directly into Irwin's chest. The barb pierced his heart, causing massive internal bleeding. His cameraman captured the entire incident, but the footage has never been released out of respect for his family. Despite immediate first aid from his crew and a desperate race to the nearest hospital, Irwin died within minutes of the attack. His death devastated wildlife conservation efforts worldwide and left millions of fans mourning the loss of someone who dedicated his life to protecting dangerous animals. Number 2. Papa Wemba, the king of Rumba's final dance. Death came knocking while Papa Wemba was doing what he loved most, making people dance. The Congolese music legend collapsed on stage during the Femua Music Festival in Abidjan, Ivory Coast, on April 24, 2016. Papa Wemba had spent decades perfecting the art of soukous music, blending traditional African rhythms with modern sounds that got crowds moving across the globe. At 66, he was still commanding stages with the energy of someone half his age. That night in Abidjan, thousands of fans were swaying to his infectious beats when suddenly the music stopped. Papa Wemba clutched his chest and fell to the ground mid-performance. The crowd initially thought it was part of his theatrical show. The man was known for his dramatic flair and colorful costumes. But when he didn't get back up, reality hit hard. Medical teams rushed onto the stage, but Papa Wemba was already gone. A heart attack had silenced one of Africa's most influential voices forever. His death left a massive hole in African music, with fellow musicians and fans across continents mourning the loss of someone who had dedicated his life to sharing the joy of African culture through rhythm and melody. Keep the vibrant LGBTQ+ community of Philadelphia's drag stars' final bow. The vibrant LGBTQ+ community of Philadelphia lost one of its brightest stars on September 12, 2022, when 25-year-old drag performer Valencia Prime collapsed during a live show at Taboo Lounge and Sports Bar. Known for her larger-than-life personality and show-stopping performances, Valencia Prime had become a beloved figure in the local drag scene, inspiring countless younger performers with her confidence and talent. During what would become her final performance, she was entertaining a packed crowd with her signature high-energy routine when she suddenly fell to the floor. The audience initially thought it might be part of her theatrical performance, as drag shows often include dramatic moments and surprising choreography. However, when she failed to get back up, the mood quickly shifted from celebration to concern. Emergency responders arrived within minutes and performed CPR before rushing her to Jefferson Hospital, but she was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. Medical examiners later determined that she had died from atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, a condition that affects the arteries and can cause sudden cardiac death. Her passing sent shockwaves through Philadelphia's LGBTQ community, with Taboo Lounge describing her as a bright star on the rise, whose light would never be forgotten. Tributes poured in from fellow performers and fans who remembered her infectious energy and kind spirit.
Still curious? Then don't stop now. The next mystery is already waiting for you. Just click the video on screen. I saved it just for you. See you there, curious one.